Hi guys, Lily here, and I'm back today with a flower tutorial, and I will call this Shabby Chic movement flower. And as you can see, it have movement in it because I used tassel laces on them. See? And it kind of resembles stamens, kind of there. So I'm gonna do the tutorial how to make this, and they're really simple. And you can layer them however you want, but there's several different laces you can use, right? But they all need to have some kind of tassel in the bottom. So see, this one here it's not a very long one, so what you need to do is to cut up a little bit along there, right? To make them kind of loosened up. If you have a very long tassel lace like this one, I suggest you kind of cut it in a little bit and cinch the edges, because if you don't cinch them, they will fray. And also that in order to use this, the flower has to be humongous, right? So cut them in a little bit. Or you can use one like this. And it's easiest to use those with medallions on top of the tassels. You will see that later. Or like this one here, right? So I'm gonna do a couple ones, I reckon, right now. So I just cut out a piece of circle, a backing for the flower, and you can use all kinds of fabric to put on the back of them to work on. It doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be felt, it doesn't have to be perfect, because the flower will be glued down to a project anyway, right? So I just cut out a circle. You don't need it to be very big. Of course, the bigger the flower you're making, the bigger the circle have to be, right? And then I cut out some pieces of fabric. This one here is just thrift find, but IKEA have also curtains similar to this, which you can use. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the folding technique. You fold it in half, and yes, they have to be square. Okay, so you fold it in half, and then again, let's see, go closer to the camera. Fold in half and fold inwards to the center, and again, okay? Then you have it like this, and you dab a little glue there and pinch it together, right? Just make sure you don't burn yourself. So now it's stuck like that, and you have a full petal, okay? I have my crappy glue gun here because I'm redoing my craft room and I can't find my glue gun. Okay, so let's see, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you do another one. I need to cut this one a little bit because it wasn't quite square, and try to make them the same size, because of course the outcome would be prettier. Fold again, again, and again. Easy peasy, right? And you don't need a lot of glue to get them together, right? You need more glue on the back, and that will seep through and hold them together, right? And you can use a little bit of gap in between. Now I can't get closer with the camera right now since I'm redoing my craft room, but this is okay. Right. So you can kind of tweak it together a little bit. And the hot glue is a little forgiving for a little time. And fold back. See, this one's not quite square. And fold, fold, and fold. And put in a little bit of glue on the top there. You can dip your finger in some water. That will help you not to get burned, okay? And a little bit more glue there. You see, you got this going. And depending on how big your circle is, how many petals you need to use. And this is a very elementary flower. And this base here is good to work with other flowers too. And it might get a little crooked on the base, but that you can fix afterwards. Making flowers is not an accurate science, actually. There and there. Just wait a second and then pinch. Just that little second makes a difference whether you're burning yourself or not. Okay. Okay, so there we go there. And what I'm seeing is that this one is slightly bigger than the others. So I'm just gonna cut to make it fit just a little bit better. If not, it's gonna be loop-sided. And you can see here, it's not quite spot on there. Okay, so now, if you like, you can back this up with doily. Now this one's a bit too big. You can back it like that, or with something like this, or smaller, which in case I would do now because it's more proportionally correct. It's not that you want to be correct all the times, but it's more pleasing to the eye. Okay. And this gives you a sturdy backing. I didn't do that on the others, but I want to do it now. Okay, so you got that. Okay, so now going back to that tassel. I'm gonna use this for now. Okay, so I'm gonna cut so I have this piece off there. Okay, so I need to count here. I have one space here, one there, one there, one there, and one there. So I need 5 segments. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm cutting there. Right. And what I'm doing now, I don't need the whole one, so I'm gonna cut off half of them. Right? So obviously I can use this trim here on something that needs to be like this way here. And this one is a little long for this flower, and so I'm gonna, let's put it on first so we can see how much it actually needs to be cut. Sometimes it doesn't. So you're gonna layer it, and I want to cut off this one here because the middle one, the one between the medallions. Can you see that? Right? And then I'm gonna start gluing this. So I'm gonna glue so I get the tassels in between these petals. Like so. You see that? In between. And oh, I got stuck there. This helps for the sturdiness of the flowers too. And I guess a movement, Shabby Chic movement flower is a good description of these, because it have movement. Now of course you can leave it like that, alright, but I think it's a little bit too much, so I'm gonna cut off. Well, the pieces I'm cutting off you can use on any other projects, right? That one there. Oops. See the glue strings. Oh, those glue strings. Okay, so now it's more in proportion to the size of the flower. Now you can do many ways going on from there. See this, you can see the kind of the medallions going around, and we have that going here as well. This lace here had smaller, so I actually backed it up with a little bit of tulle. And I had a little piece of tulle here. Where did it go? Okay, just a little one here, right? And what I'm doing, I'm just pinching it together, and then I'm doing like that. Okay, that's a little bit too tight, like so. And loosen it up a little bit and cut out the excess. And fold these ends into the center and put some glue on it and put it in the middle. Now that will that will poke out underneath your flower center and also bring the flower center up. Okay, so when you're gonna do a flower center, I have a bunch of different ones here. You don't need to use our expensive one like this, you know, obviously this one is too big for this flower. This one I think is also a little bit too big. That's same with that. You can do cheaper flower centers like this one here. You can do the more expensive ones. This is porcelain. Okay, it's very pretty, goes very nice with other pinks. And you have one like that there. What I can see now, and here's a small one, but I think that's too small, so I'm gonna go with this one, and I'm just gonna put some glue on it. And you know, they often have a shank on the back, and that's actually advantage because it gets it to stick better. Okay, just squeezing it. You can see a little bit of the tulle peeking out. That's okay, just gives a little bit more interest, and there you go, that's your flower. And when you use doily in the back, it becomes, you know, more finished, but you don't need to do it. Right, see, this is more than nice enough. And you can of course make it even more layered by putting in doilies in between on the top here, but that will make it a little less fluffy. So there you go, Shabby Chic tassel movement flower. And I hope you like it, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.